Well, hello everybody. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Jen Cowie from Headquarters Air Force Services, and today I'm here to give you your Facebook Live updates. We're going to cover quite a few topics today, so as usual, if you have any questions as we're proceeding through these slides or while you're watching this video, please use the send message feature on the page. We'd love to get your feedback, and we are excited to get those answers out to you. Most importantly, though, thank you so much for what you're doing. I know it's a very trying time right now. All of us are experiencing a very different way of life with COVID-19, and we are just very appreciative of all that you are doing during this time. So moving forward, we'll go over the overview of what we're going to talk about today, and then kind of dive into each topic separately. So in overview, we're going to talk about the EFMP construct, and we have some very exciting news on that front that I'm eager to share with you. Some of the updates with regards to COVID-19. Also, the House Armed Services Committee, I know that there were some questions around the last time that we had our Facebook Live and last time I came to you with an update. So we'll just touch base on where we are with some of those initiatives moving forward. We have some further information on EFMP legal support, EFMP respite care, and then the family member travel screening. Very exciting news on that front where we're moving forward with it rolling onto an online platform. We have some telemental health that has come into light in the last few days, I think as a result of COVID-19, kind of pushing some initiatives forward with telehealth, and we are very excited to share those with you. We also are partaking in the Vice Chief of Staff AFWERX Challenge, and we're looking for further feedback and guidance and things from all of you out in the field and out in society right now on the front lines, and looking to get further information from you on how we can serve you better. Updates to our EFMP Summit that are related to some changes due to COVID-19, and then some information about our EFMP orientation rewrite. So getting into it, we'll talk about the EFMP construct. So what we found is we've broken down this program from kind of top to bottom is that there's a lot of components and a lot of moving parts that go into EFMP. So if you look at this diagram, this is just a very small portrayal of what all goes into EFMP. So you have HASC A1S, which is where I sit. That's up at the Pentagon and Air Force Services, and we serve really as that lead overall arching component of the program. But underneath, you see a set for EFMP medical, EFMP family support, and EFMP assignments. And then you see a few of our partner agencies, such as education support, TRICARE support, Air Force respite care, and legal support all off to the side, and that's just a small snapshot of all the moving parts within EFMP. So what I wanted to bring your attention to is just, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and so if you have questions or aren't quite sure how certain things fit in, we ask that you just, ask those questions or engage with us on the direct message feature, and we can help you get the information that you need with whatever area you have questions on. All right, so moving right along into COVID-19 stop movement in EFMP. This is an interesting and challenging time. I think something that so many of us have never experienced, and we're all learning as we go along. So it's challenged all of us like never before. I know personally, moving into a telework environment while trying to homeschool and having a husband that's also active duty and is on shift work and trying to figure out all those day-to-day routines, it has definitely brought some great things to our family, but also challenged us with some very interesting, dynamics that can make for a really hard day. So I just want you to know that we are all here with you, and we are here to support you. And please feel free to reach out, especially if you are feeling like you're maybe not being supported or just having one of those rough days. We just encourage you to reach out, find somebody to connect with, and you can always come to us here on this page, and we will get in contact with you or get you the right resources for that. Again, it's forced us into a lot of new roles and new ways of life. I never planned to cut my husband's hair until recently, and now I am, giving all 3 of my boys haircuts. But it's definitely added some additional stressors into our lives. I think we're all growing in some really positive ways as well. As you have probably heard or aware of, the Secretary of Defense stop movement orders continue through the 30th of June. And at this time, they're going to reevaluate that every 2 weeks. We are still kind of walking our way through that. But as you can imagine, when we were normally set to move families and sponsors and all of the things that go into a permanent change of station, when that stopped for the most part in March, we're going to have an interesting way of moving forward. So our senior leadership is actively engaged, and they are stepping through different ways to handle that. So right underneath here, you'll see some of the guidance and some of the resources and web links that you can go to get that honest to goodness current information. So again, if you are having any questions or struggling to get information, please send us a direct message and we will help you navigate that. But we will continue to post updates to the page as we get them and show you some really great resources to help you as you move along. I know we posted a great article the other day about the movers coming into your house and some of the guidelines from U.S. Transportation Command. Again, that's all good information, and please feel free to post that, share it with your friends, share it with our military family, and help us all take care of one another. All right, moving along into the House Armed Services Committee hearing. So many of you are aware that we had a House Armed Services Committee hearing with Representative Spear, and that was on the 5th of February. A lot of good information came out of that, and it also provided us some great momentum of moving forward with our program. And we were already working some changes during that time. We were actually in a rapid improvement event focused on the medical family member travel screening during that hearing. So we watched it, and we really took that to heart as we're moving forward with rolling improvements out. So from that, you will see that we are going to stand up an EFMP centralized cell. And what I want to say with that is there's been a lot of hard work, a lot of really smart people putting some information together and trying to figure out the best way to really support our families holistically. So when we talk about that diagram at the beginning where it showed the construct, you can see that EFMP in and of itself is very complex, but we're trying our best to bring all those folks together into one area, one working space, so that we can have that crosstalk and really give you a holistic care management as we're moving you from one location to the next, or providing that additional support that maybe you are not getting currently. So that's going to provide our families a single focus point where you can make contact and get answers to your questions as you're moving through things. It's also going to look to lay in an actual dedicated legal assistance cell or personnel to help with a lot of those school issues that we're seeing, and adding in a school liaison specific to EFMP, because we know with special education there's a lot of challenges that we might find and face, especially as we go from one school district to the next, and navigating those state laws and the changes within each organization. So we are super excited about this coming in. So another feature of the centralized cell is a standardized travel recommendation determination, and we're very pleased to let you hear about this. We think it is going to offer just some general comfort for our families as you're moving through that screening process, because our pool of docs will be able to go in and look at each case on a case-by-case basis. They're going to be able to review medical records for you. And again, they're going to be able to collaborate collectively as a team and determine when you're able to get a travel recommendation to a location or a non-travel recommendation to a location. And in some instances, we know if you have one or two medical conditions that are relatively benign in nature, but may still require you to enroll in the EFMP program, sometimes it seems to still take a long time for you to get that travel recommendation. And with this centralized cell, it's going to allow us to streamline some of those, putting you in an express lane where we can clear you off and get you your clearance a lot quicker. Additionally, that will all in turn improve our timeline for receiving orders. And with the centralized cell, it's really going to hopefully decrease the burden on you as a family getting that information collected and put together in order to get your family member travel screening complete. We're going to have med techs in the cell, as well as our physicians that can go in, pull medical records, look at information within all your medical records, and get those records from outside agencies or outside hospitals in order to help you make that determination for your travel recommendation. So we're very excited to bring that centralized cell forward for all of you. Additionally, there are a lot of concerns and questions with regards to Air Force legal support. Right before COVID kicked off, we had sent a memo, which is a collaborative effort between our EFMP legal support folks at the JA offices, our family support coordinators at the Airmen and Family Readiness Centers, as well as the school liaisons at each installation, directing them to have a face-to-face meeting. Now with COVID in place, a lot of those meetings are occurring virtually, but that's going to give them an opportunity to sit down and talk about the issues that are going on within the local area, so they can best serve you as far as giving legal advice, figuring out if we need to maybe do some additional training, or how we can best support our folks within the local area with maybe some outside resources. So we're excited to let you know that all those meetings should be completed by the 15th of May, and then we'll be able to identify any kind of blind spots that we might see or things that maybe need further attention from our JA partners. Again, we're very excited to bring those updates to you. So moving on, the same resources that we posted shortly after the HASC hearing with regards to legal support. Again, if you go to your legal office, there are certain things that all legal offices are able to do for you, and those are listed under your Air Force Legal Assistance. I recommend that you contact them right now, especially with COVID, to find out what their office hours are. And the legal office locator, that website is listed here for you on the slide. And then there's also the Air Force Legal Assistance website, and that's for things like powers of attorney, wills, that kind of stuff that you can pre-fill out online before going to your office, just to make it flow a little smoother for you. Additionally, the Office of Special Needs released some information with regards to the Military Pro Bono Project, and that's where a family member who maybe needs legal assistance, oftentimes for us, it's with relation to your special education, but you can be referred to the Military Pro Bono Project. That does require you to make contact with your local JA office, and they will put the referral in for you. If you look at the criteria, it does say E6 and below, but that is not a hard and fast rule. That's why we encourage you to make contact with your JA office, and they can assist you and help you navigate and find out ways to best serve you and your family. Two other resources that we wanted to bring to your attention, and these are also posted on our Facebook page on one of our most recent posts, is the Special Ed Connection and Direct Step. So as a family member that's maybe looking for further information, or even as one of our EFMP coordinator, family support coordinators, or special needs coordinators, you can go on and look at these websites. You can make contact through your Airmen and Family Readiness Center, and they can help you get access to these. There are some courses that you can take online, and they're all free of charge. So if you have a specific topic, maybe it's the individual education plan or some other area of specialty that you want more information on, you can attend these virtually from the comfort of your own home and on your own timeline. So we encourage you to check out these resources as well. Moving on to EFMP Respite Care. So I know there's been some concerns that have been brought up with regards to COVID, and each area or installation is handling it differently, and that's based on the heat maps and the hotspots of where COVID is currently. So although the respite care can continue to be provided, should you feel that it's not something that you want to partake in right now, just out of concern for bringing somebody into your home right now, you most certainly will not lose your benefit at this time. So just if you need to put it on pause for a few months, that is 100% okay. What we want to highlight here is that it's still housed at the Air Force Services Center. The number is listed below, the 1-800 number, and they are still answering the phone and emails as needed to get you information. But for those that are eligible, it's 40 hours per child per month, and typically developing siblings. So it's sibling care for when you as the caregiver need to step out. In a way, they will care for your special needs child as well as a sibling. And that form that identifies your level of severity is something that you take to your physician or the nurse practitioner. They will fill out, and that's the form that classifies your special needs dependent as moderate or severe in their condition. And then once that is completed, you take that to the Family Child Care Coordinator, or the FCC. They're located within Air Force Child and Youth, so often at one of your CDCs, and they will help you get set up getting that care started. If you are a new respite care provider, or you're interested in being a new respite care provider, or you want to bring somebody online to maybe be one for you, you can get those forms from us by sending a direct message. You can also contact the Air Force Services Center, or if you need just the general respite care enrollment form, you can also send us a direct message, and we'll help get those forms to you so that you can get that taken care of. The most exciting thing, I think, is our online family member travel screening. And like I mentioned, we were doing a rapid improvement event on ways in which we can help streamline the process for our EFMP families. And starting on the 15th of April, anybody that was identified for a PCS can initiate the family member travel screening process online. This is going to allow our MTFs, who are sometimes, at reduced capacity due to COVID, they can still continue to move those screenings forward. It does require the airmen to use their common access card and to go into QBase for registration. Once you go to that website, which is listed here on the slide, that www.airforcespecialneeds.af.mil, you'll register with your CAT card. Do know that you have to use Internet Explorer, and there's some instructions on a flyer that we can share with you should you have any issues. To get registered, that special needs coordinator will grant you access to start the upload of your forms. And this is really going to give you some live views of where your data is in the system. It's going to allow you to initiate, monitor, and track that family member travel screening application all the way through the process. And it does allow you to message back and forth with the hospital or the provider that's maybe asking for further information, so that we can get that screening done much quicker for you. Again, if you have any questions, please send us a direct message and we'll get you that information. You can see on the next slide that we're moving to just a screenshot of what that page looks like. Just to note, the pictures do rotate, so you might find a different picture when you go to log in. But if you click that login button, it'll run you through a series of steps in order to get your account set up. And again, that is CAC enabled, so it has to be done by the sponsor. All right, moving along, talking about our Vice Chief's AFWERX Challenge. We are super excited that the Vice Chief has partnered with us in allowing us to take part in this AFWERX Challenge. We really want to hear your great ideas and your voice and things that you think that could help us fix some of our blind spots within the program and make the program more user-friendly for all those involved in it. So please let your voice be heard. We are seeking out those innovations to help just really give our program the next push forward. The idea is, once you submit your idea, it does require CAC access, so it's going to be done under the sponsor. But once you submit your idea, it's reviewed by a collaborative team, and we've gotten some really great suggestions on that page thus far. When I last checked, there were about 12 ideas floating around out there, anything from ABA therapy to permitting that within the schools, as well as additional legal support. There are some really great ideas out there, and we want to continue to hear those ideas from you. The submission timeline right now is open-ended because of COVID-19. Originally, this challenge was only supposed to run till the beginning of May, but as of this time, it's still currently open, and we will advertise when we're getting close to closing that challenge out. So while we're waiting for that timeline to come around, please get your ideas submitted in. And if you look through the next few slides, you'll see how you can get logged in. You'll go to this website right here. You'll click under this window where it says Saving Airmen Time for the Vice Chiefs Challenge, and there's about 3 steps to get you logged in. So once you get through that first page, you'll be in a second page that's going to have several rows of different ideas that the Vice Chief is running right now. Go down to where I believe it's the second row, and it says the Exceptional Family Member Program and Participate. Select that button there, and that'll put EFMP as your topic of choice. And then under that, it's going to allow you to submit a new idea. So click that box right there, and it's going to allow you to freely type in your information, your idea, and we are very excited to see those going forward. Moving on, we're going to talk through the EFMP Summit. So pre-COVID, we had planned to have an in-person summit where we were going to bring our special needs coordinators, our family support coordinators, our FSS assignments folks all together, as well as 78 plus family members and key leadership. all together in one forum to get some ideas. But with the way things are going right now, we know that we can't have those large gatherings. So we are going to roll it into a virtual summit. So much like last year where we had some recorded events and we played them online and then we're there to answer your questions, it will flow somewhat the same way. We're still working through that format, but we want to know what topics you want to hear about. So again, we want to get your feedback. So please send us a direct message feature. Some ideas that we plan to include already are somebody to talk about special education, legal assistance, respite care, the online screening process, more information about the centralized cell and how that's rolling out, as well as updates from DHA and the changes to TRICARE and how that's going to affect us as they move more and more of our dependents off base. But we, again, are targeting for early fall for this summit to occur. And we're just working around a few other timelines with the Air Force symposium coming up and a few other things. We just want to make sure that we give it the due justice that it deserves. But we do want to hear from you and get your ideas on things that you would find helpful at this time. Additionally, about a little over a year ago, so a year ago from September, we rolled out EFMP orientation. And with as many changes as that we're stepping through right now, you can imagine that our orientation is already starting to become out of date. So we encourage you, if you have feedback from what you've seen thus far, to send us that feedback via direct message. What information did you find helpful? What information do you feel you still need information on? And what maybe did we include in that previous orientation that was not helpful? And so all of that together will give us an idea of how we can make that better for you. Because in the end, we want to make sure that it's streamlined as best as possible and gives you really the heart and the meat of what you are asking for question-wise. So with that, I've included the EFMP orientation links on the next slide. So for those of you that maybe have not seen this yet, if you do have questions or maybe you want to watch a particular video, these are housed on YouTube under AFPC. So you can select the link, scroll down. We'll make sure these slides are posted so it's easy access for you, and you can go in and review that on your own time. And again, we look forward to your feedback as we're continuing on. So with all that said, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in today. We look forward to getting your questions and your ideas and your innovations so we can make this program better all around. Thank you again and have a great day.